Leicester, Massachusetts, population 10,000.
I pick up my hat, brush off the dirt, push a
small town just west of Worcester,
the woman I love says, leave her
where farmland and song go hand in hand.
for me to be gone.
Country music these days, but with a whole lot of soul.
So bored of town, nothing to do, I'm just hanging.
These are all blueberries, yeah, see? Look at them, they're green now, but the birds has gotten to them. They were super loaded.
Meet Alexander Downing. That's Big Al to his friends and fans of his music. And why not? At 6'2" and 300 and some odd pounds, with a smile as wide as the Charles River is long,
Why do you think they call me Big Al?
Big Al emotes that down-home good old country
I
warmth,
love them, love them.
Oklahoma style.
This is my pride and joy out here, though. To walk out here and get fresh tomatoes and fresh vegetables, you know. That's great. I remember growing up in rural Oklahoma, working in the fields, picking cotton and doing all the farm work. And it was just a natural feel of country. So everybody said, well, how did you learn country? You don't learn country, you grow up country. I wouldn't have moved to Worcester because that's too big. But a smaller town is what I'm used to and what I like. Small town.
Growing up country meant listening to music, all types of music, with a sprinkling of rock and roll and gospel, much to the liking of his 11 brothers and sisters, to heavy doses of country, thanks to the Grand Ole Opry out of Nashville, Tennessee, and his dad, who controlled the radio dial. Big Al grew to love all styles, but it wasn't until finding an old junkyard piano that he became serious about his music.
So we took this piano home and we set it, and then we set the radio on top of it, you know. So I began to listen to that WLAC, that station I told you about, and I was talking about, and I remember starting to pick out Fats Domino music. That's when I first started really learning, is when Fats Domino was doing Blueberry Hill and all his early stuff. And I remember sitting at the piano and picking out note by note what he was doing on the blues or whatever, you know. And then when Dad would listen to his country music, you know, then I would sit down and start doing that, all by ear. That's how I learned to play. This piano is just like the one we found in the junkyard. This big one here. That's the same thing we found. That's just like the one I grew up playing. See, I grew up on, you got a smile so bright. Woo, you should have been a candle. Now, see, I do country, but man, I cannot not play that song. You know what I mean? or Otis, ready? I've been loving you a little too long. Man, that's good music, you know?
After winning a talent contest in the mid-50s, Al was asked to join Bobby Poe and the Poecats, an all-white band that played rock and roll, country, and rockabilly, a cross between rock and country. A decade later, he formed his own rhythm and blues band. And yes, during the 1970s...
My disco days. Disco here and a disco there. I'd had a #1 disco record. It was called I'll Be Holding On. So we was in the studio looking for another disco song, and we took a break.
During the break, just to pass time, he played a country tune on the piano. The producer loved it so much that they scrapped the disco album and released some of the many country songs Al had written over the years, one of which reached the top 10 Billboard country chart in 1978.
I'm in trouble, come and get me, Mr. Jones.
That song was very well accepted.
Flo Murdock is a talent buyer for Johnny D's restaurant and music club in Somerville.
Look what he did. The old black farmer rescued the little white baby, raised him, and it was the little white kid who was always in trouble. And that was, and broke the old guy's heart, you know, and that was the basis of the song. And it was beautiful that he was able to do that and sell it to a white audience.
It was one of the most requested songs of the year and opened doors that stayed closed to many African-American country artists, with the exception of Charlie Pride.
Let me trust a higher power.
Charley Pride was the first person to have mass success. When you hear him, he sounds white. And somehow I almost got the feeling that somewhere somebody said, well, okay, we have one now. We don't need any more of you. I mean, words were never said, but you could feel it.
He's a wonderful man, he's an honest man, he's a good man. And so I will introduce to you right now the great Big Al Downing, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now, everybody, come on.
Son, look at here. There were times I was sure it was the end. This old guitar, I'd pick it up and then that old road would start calling me like a long lost friend. You know I've got to leave you no matter where or when.
From Randy Travis and Jerry Lee Lewis to Chuck Berry and Little Richard, Big Al has played with them all. Despite the industry's mistreatment of many African-American country singers, Big Al has found his niche with 3 country albums to his credit and a 4th due next year.
It's not the people, it's the industry that won't broaden their horizon as far as letting black folks come in and do country. Because when I do a concert, I don't care who I'm with, if I'm opening for Randy Travis or whoever it is I'm opening for. When I walk out on the stage and start playing, by the time I'm done, I get 1, 2 standing ovations. That's in front of the named stars and everything. And so it lets you know that the people accept you as a performer, man.
For I couldn't bear to see her all there with you.
Black folks have done country since the beginning of time. It's hard to go in Oklahoma and find a black family that ain't said at one time, oh yeah, I listen to country music. So it's not a thing where it's a white kind of music.
The thing about Al's music is that you really can't categorize it, and it sounds cliched to call something American music, but that is what it is. It's all the bases of American music. It is country, it is rockabilly, it is blues and soul and gospel, and those are the things that everything else is based on. And he has all that in him. And he's a great piano player at it. He has a wonderful personality, and people react to that.
We don't want rock and we don't want roll. Give me some down home country soul, everybody get it right. A boogie woogie Saturday night. Well, kick off your shoes, come on, let's go. We got a rockin' and they ready to roll. We got a rockin' and we wanna get down. Play the best boogie, you think around, everybody get it right. Boogie woogie, little piano for you.
I get discouraged with the way the industry is, but as long as I can go out and the people accept me as an artist and they like what I'm doing, hey, you know, you got to keep kicking.